Thank you, President Bowers. Good evening, everyone. President Bowers, Council Vice President Asha Green, and members of Harrisburg City Council. Thank you for this opportunity to present a brief overview of our 2024 City of Harrisburg General Fund budget. The document you are seeing tonight is not a final project. Indeed, and instead, it is a blueprint, a starting point for how we will continue to move Harrisburg forward together into a safer, brighter future. The proposal you have in front of you is the product of months of stressful, hard work by the Office of City Controller Charlie Day Bruner, Business Administrator Dan Hartwick, Finance Director Marita Kelly, Budget Manager Tim Brooks, Accounting Manager Brian McCutcheon, and the dozens of people on their respective staffs. Work started on the budget this summer, and the last few weeks have consisted of long hours, difficult conversations, and even harder decisions to present a balanced budget before you. After tonight, we cede the floor to you. Over the next 2 weeks, you will review this proposal and be able to ask questions of our budget staff and department heads. I strongly feel this document presents the best path forward. My administrative staff and I look forward to working with you to have a budget completed for the residents of this city by December 31st. In the meantime, I want to highlight some areas which we are most proud and confident will set the tone for Harrisburg moving forward, and some of the areas which may cause some concerns. First, the most important part of this budget is this: there will be no tax increases, no layoffs, and no cuts in any services to the people of Harrisburg. Thanks to the work we did to eliminate the city's decades-long debt, our residents will not be left to pay for the decisions made by prior administrations. If we would have kept the status quo, debt payments would have been so high, we would have had no choice but to either propose tax hikes or cut services. Thankfully, we do not have to do either. In fact, not only do we have the highest staffing rates in over a decade, but our retention rates are through the roof. This shows that we have believed in for so long is working. We need to continue to invest in our employees if we want to make the city of Harrisburg a great place to work. In addition, we will be able to continue many of the programs and services our residents have grown to love. We will continue our investment into our Parks and Recreation Department, making it better than ever before. Events like the July Summer Music Series, the Bash at the Brownstone, Fishing Day at Italian Lake, and all of our summer programs, to name a few, are made possible by the continued investments we make in this budget. Also, our Department of Public Works is working harder than ever. The large-scaling paving projects we saw throughout the late summer and early fall will only grow in 2024, as this budget will allow the city to continue with an expanded in-house paving program instead of contracting services out and renting equipment from others. Next year, we will see our American Rescue Plan funds start to come to fruition. I have tasked Building and Housing Director Denise Hill with overseeing much of the first steps. Our priorities are the affordable housing program and money for home repairs, especially for our seniors. And I'm excited to announce we have just hired 2 program managers to oversee its progress. Once we get this budget passed across the finish line and we move in 2024, our priority will be to meet with council to figure out how we want our new South Harrisburg pool to look like, as well as our ADA playgrounds. From a public safety standpoint, we continue to make investments in our police officers and firefighters. We will aim to hire at least 10 new officers in 2024. It is an ambitious but achievable number. Keeping in mind last year, we brought in 14 new officers and promoted another 14. The ability to grow within the ranks of one of Pennsylvania's proudest units is not lost on our recruits. In addition, our firefighters will enter the new year with a new contract, 4 years with a 3.5% raise in this year alone. Their importance is not lost on us, When someone is having the worst day of their life, be it a house fire or a vehicle crash, they are at their best in saving lives. The Harrisburg Bureau of Fire has not lost a single life in a city fire in more than 2 years. We are forever indebted to them. This administration is elated that the City of Harrisburg has 6 major housing developments in progress: Savoy Towers, J&B Gardens, Bethel Village, Sycamore Homes, Woodward Lofts, and TLC Cornerstone. Lastly, I want to address the challenging decisions we have already made and that now are presented to you, whether it is the high staff retention rate, freshly paved roads, or just the general cost of services. A balanced budget comes at a cost, and if nothing else, I promise to always be transparent with you. We are proposing a $3.23 increase into our monthly trash bill, bringing it to $35.57 a month. Our rates have not changed in over a decade, and we have to ensure that this citywide service can operate in the current business world we live in today. This still remains drastically lower than our municipal neighbors, where places like Middle Paxton Township are charging $150 per quarter. Derry Township is up $114 per quarter, and Lower Paxton is nearly $110 per quarter, compared to us, which would be $106.72 per quarter. Where ratepayers in neighboring communities are just getting trash and recycling, our residents get so much more out of our Department of Public Works for each dollar spent, like paving, park maintenance, snow removal, and anti-illegal dumping efforts. Again, charging an additional utility cost is not what I wanted to do. However, we feel this is the best business decision we can make with how hard inflation and rising costs have hit our bottom line. For a point of reference, it was just a decade ago where the city was paid for its recycling. Year after year, things changed, and now we are forced to pay $80 per ton to recycle. The future of our rates and how we handle customers outside of the city is something we would invite the incoming chair of Public Works Committee to take up with us. The Commonwealth's decision not to return workers to the office has cost the city millions of dollars in annual revenue, with loss of business tax and parking revenue. Also, not to beat a dead horse, inflation has done real damage to many of our expense lines, from fuel to insurance costs. Though from the looks of it, things are seeming to level off and stabilize. Council members, we have the opportunity with this budget to continue to move the city of Harrisburg forward. This budget is fiscally sound and responsible. There are 0 tax increases and continues to invest in the people who matter the most, the residents of the city of Harrisburg. I look forward to starting this important process with you after the budget meeting. Thank you all.